Okay, Celine, water is the biggest enemy of any house. So we spend a lot of the time on the outside of a building just trying to figure out how well the house is going to shed water.
Okay.
The first thing to shed water, of course, the roof covering. So we're going to start on the roof. So I'm going to get up there. That's the only place I ask you not to follow me.
Okay, no problem.
All right. It's a young roof covering. I would say it's less than 5 years old.
Okay.
It's been very well installed. My biggest concern, our biggest concern, is wind damage, mechanical damage, vermin damage. If it's a young roof covering, it hasn't worn out. So that's the kind of thing we're looking for. You don't have any of that up there. It's basic maintenance. You're good to go. It's fine.
Excellent.
All right?
Excellent. For how much longer would I have much to go? Like, what's a typical lifespan of a roof?
This shingle would last typically 12 to 15 years, and I would
Okay.
say it's less than 5. So it gives you an idea of where you sit in terms of life expectancy. That wraps up the outside. Everything's in good shape.
Okay.
Let's head inside and we'll go to the basement and we'll look after all the structure, the electrical, the furnace, the air conditioning, all that sort of thing.
Sounds good.
Okay? Okay, Celine, have you seen this book before?
I haven't.
Okay, we're going to give you this book at the end of the inspection.
Okay.
There's a bottom line tab on the report.
Mm-hmm.
These are the 9 systems of the house that we look at.
Okay.
If there are any major improvements, major in our world is anything that might cost you over $1,000 in the first year you own the home, that'll be on this page.
Okay.
All right, so any significant cost item will be right up front here. If you want more detail about any one of the systems, each has its own chapter in the book. Okay, Celine, we're going to start at the electrical panel. Are you a first-time homeowner?
I had a condo before,
Yeah.
and now this is my first home. I'm really excited, but I'm just a little bit nervous about, technical things of a home.
You know, once you learn about it, anxiety levels tend to drop away, once you understand how it works.
Well, that's why you're here.
There you go. So the most important thing to note in any panel, you should know where to turn the power off. So all the power for the whole house comes through this one breaker. Mm-hmm. Just flick it over to the left. Okay. All the power will be cut in the house. It is a 200 amp service, which is huge. It's plenty for the size of a house.
Great.
No problem at all. First thing we want to do inside the panel is to identify the type of distribution wire. And if you look up top, you can see all the copper. You can see all the copper wiring all throughout here. Right. So copper's good, as opposed to aluminum.
Why is that?
There are some issues with aluminum. It was used in a time period from about 1968 through 78. They had some problems with overheating and arcing, and there's a whole bunch of things that you don't have to worry about because you don't have it. Okay. And it can be an insurance issue as well. So.
Okay.
The next thing we want to do is to team up the gauge size or the thickness of the wires to the size of the breakers being used. So you can see this is a thicker wire to a 40 amp, thinner wire to 15. So I'm just teaming them all up. I just want to make sure there's no over fusing or over breakering in this case.
Okay.
And this all looks good as we move through. Anywhere you see a red wire goes to the same location as the black wire. Just want to make sure those breakers are linked together. And we want to make sure that there's no double tapping or 2 wires under one screw terminal. And if you scan through here, no problem. See, each wire or each breaker has its own home.
Great.
Or each wire has its own home in a breaker. Lots of room to expand. No abandoned wires in the panel. No loose wires. No overheating wires. All right. So I'll close that back up.